If you like this video, like and subscribe. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another tour of the flower farm, so let's get started. The rain might start soon, so we're going to have to go pretty quick. It's been raining here for days. Let's turn you around. And this is the first bed as you come in. If you follow along, if you look back at the first video I posted, you will be able to see the difference it makes. This first bed is straw flowers. Well, there's a bit of fennel mixed in, but you can see there's buds already on some of these. They will get netted soon, probably tomorrow, because they can get quite heavy and topple over. And the rain is starting, so we're going to cut and come back. So while it's raining outside, we're going to have a look first in the tunnel, and then we're going to go back and look at the flowers outside. So turn you around, and we'll start with the asters. They're looking pretty good. Tunnel has been closed all week because it's been quite cold and raining every day, and the wind is bashing the tunnel and it's going all over me. Oh, is this? There's first wee buds starting on some of these asters. They're bunching asters, so it should be quite a nice stem, and you can see how strong they are so far. Need to go through and poke some through the nets, but I'll spin you around. We'll go to celosia. If you remember last time, I said I never grew this before successfully, and this year might be the year for celosia. This is apricot, that's why the leaves look a bit yellow. And then on the other side we have Lisianthus. We'll start from here. They are looking really well, and I have been spraying with copper fungicide because they're prone to fusarium, which is a disease that gets Lisianthus. If you don't spray, you're pretty much losing most of the crop. But so far it's looking good. Some are taller than others. My goodness, can you hear the wind bashing outside? There's what fusarium could look like. The stem gets all brown and then the whole top just dies. I've lost a couple of one variety, which I'm not certain that it's from fusarium. Usually it comes on a bit later, but it has been so wet recently and pretty cold, so it could be. But if we move on down, you can see this variety is a bit more sparse, where I've lost quite a few, not all of them, but the ones that are still here, they're looking pretty well. I'm going to put some marigolds in here today and amaranthus just to fill in the gaps. And then on the other side, we have dahlias and Canterbury bells. You can see the dahlias are budding up. Quite a short stems there, but they'll pick up over time. Still quite early. There's the stock. Stock is looking really good. Buds already on it, so we should be picking stock within the next maybe 2 weeks. Let's see what the zinnias look like. Absolutely lashing. So the zinnias that we took the cuttings from, was it 2 weeks ago now, or it would be about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to give you an update on them soon, but you can see what they look like. Look at the growth on those after they got pinched. Some are still left unpinched, but most of these are, let me see, a pinched one. Some of these first ones are multiple plants in planting hole because I didn't know if they're gonna. Not always all zinnias survive, so I usually do a couple, and then if they do, then I'll just leave them and hope for the best. Get multiple stems. But here's some of them ones that got pinched. You can see down below there. There's like three or four branches coming off one instead of just the one. There's another one. They're looking really good. And we solo amaranthus. There somehow didn't put it there. Well, it's looking pretty good. Then we move on to our tomatoes. They're flowering. There's actually wee baby tomatoes on it. Let's see. There's wee baby tomatoes. They have a while to go yet, but they're looking pretty good. So far, nice and tall. Especially it's been so cold, so can't complain. There's some of the different varieties. Then we've got some dill sown here on cucumbers. And we've got our first cucumber. Look at that. First cucumber. One of them died. Something at the roots, and we've put in some gherkins in the front here. Hopefully that'll take and fill in the gaps. Oh my goodness, look at the wind bashing. Hopefully the mic will cancel out some of that wind noise. Well, we may as well do this bed. These are the dahlias that are from Cuttons from Kenya. They're putting in some serious growth now. You can see how well they're looking, and they have been netted already so they can grow through it and be supported. They are quite close, so they should support it themselves. There's some things I was trying this year. These are pansies. They're supposed to be as a cut flower, but no, not for me. Got some random things in here. Are the car beeping? Perennial beds, still the same. Wee bit of growth on the mint. This is not going with the flow, but I'm going to work with it. In case it rains, I can run back into the tunnel. Snapdragons are looking really well. They're putting in some serious growth. Some of the leaves got burnt because I was putting urea on, which is more or less pure nitrogen. And it does say to water it in, but it was raining, and I thought, well, the rain will water it in, and then next day some of the leaves were burnt, so don't do that. Water it in. So we've got our bed of pretty much, well, a couple amaranthus. I've put in straw flowers in here, but I can't see many coming up yet. I'll sow more direct sow amaranthus in here. There's some of our perennial beds. I've ordered some new plants, so they're going to be hopefully for next year. Cosmos, pretty short still, but it blooms with whenever the daylight gets shorter, so another month or so. Bit of a mix mash here, snapdragons and Shasta daisies, and bit of grass. But look at the delphiniums. Oh my god, they are looking cracker. Some of these will get pinched, so if you're looking to get multiple stems, pinch it, and then they'll push new stems from the base and make it more bushy. It's a good succession plant that way. If you only do one planting of the delphiniums, you don't want them all flowering at the same time. You can just pinch some, leave some, and then you'll get a succession. So we tip freeze, and then we have Canterbury bells. goodness, that wind. Canterbury bells. They were just planted willy-nilly in here, so it's not a full bed. It's just a more than a half. And then some more burned leaves on these. This is Ami Magus, or I think it's Ami Visnaga maybe. Never had a great success growing it, but this year I'm trying it from plugs. Hopefully it'll do better. And we'll swing over here. We've got a bit of a mix going on. Gladiolas and delphiniums. Over here you can see the leaves burnt really bad on these. Whoa, look at that. Maybe it's not from the urea, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it should recover. There's Canterbury bells, 2 beds. Past the snapdragons. I know I'm going a bit random today, but sure, it is what it is. This bed here, I've planted some fancy gladiolas in that I ordered on sale from Farmer Gracie. Video not sponsored, by the way. But they're coming up nicely, and I put some lupins that I ordered from them as well, and they're slightly showing. I don't think I showed you these tires we have along the fence line. I've put baby blue eucalyptus in them, and then a couple cosmos, and we've even got a wee friend in here taking care of the aphids, hopefully. But some of these are looking pretty well. Got them as plug plants from eBay, and so far so good. Oh, I see slug damage, so there must have been slugs here. You can see if you don't put, oh, there he is there. Look at him munching away, having the best time of his life. No, not on my plants, definitely not. They're looking pretty well. Fruit trees are still the same. Haven't put much growth on or anything. Neither, some of them are fruiting. We have quite a few apples on this tree, which will get thinned pretty soon. After the maybe July drop, I think that they usually drop around July, and then we can come in and thin out any more than we need. So we're gonna move on now. Hopefully the rain stops for a bit. We're gonna look at the other portions of the flower farm / allotment. There's some of the delphiniums still going. They're going to be picked probably later on today and arranged tomorrow for the honesty stand. They're looking really well. Once they're cut down, they should flush back end of maybe July, and they will probably get netted for the next flush because quite a lot of them snapped. But you can see here, some of these have snapped off earlier on, and it's already pushing new growth. So it won't be long, and we move over to the first dahlias. These are overwintered dahlias, and a couple were put in, like the smaller ones in here were all put in this year as a bit of a filler where the gaps were. But you can see they're looking pretty good. Some of them have buds. I actually have some opening, which I will show you here in a minute. We'll go through this side first. Look at the sweet pea. Whoa, there are really good stems. Look at the starts here. Ooh, unbelievable. The stem length on them, unbelievable. I know I said that twice, but they are. And every arch has a different color, and then there's more at the back, different colors. There's some big dahlias that just came back from last year, and they are putting on some serious growth. Look at this plant. Not massive. Ooh. Some bug pressure. I'm gonna be spraying with molasses, hopefully tomorrow. Never done it before, so I'm going to try it, see if it's going to take care of the aphid problem or whatever's eating them. They're looking pretty well. There's some white sweet pea. Edges are a wee bit green, which is, or like lime color. Quite nice. There's the other side, purple, lovely. And then in here, more last year dahlias. This is where the last year ones end, and these are all new, all the way around. It was only 5 beds last year, but look, dahlias are coming. This bloom will probably open within a couple of days. I believe this is strawberry and cream. Lovely wee dahlia. Plenty of buds there on these ones, which might be the same variety or different, I'm not sure. And then these are the new ones. This bed is just a mix mash of everything. There's gladiolas in here, dahlias, poppies. These are poppies. Hopefully they produce nice seed heads. They self-seeded. Cornflower, which I didn't sow, or intentionally anyway. These are lovely colour. This is like a perfect colour for a wedding. Good stems, massive blooms. Look at the size of these. Really good stem. And then we've got some more dahlias. Swing you over. Look at this sea of lime green. This is lady's mantle, or Alchemilla mollis. And we've got some perennials here. I'm not actually sure what's in here. I've been putting perennials here for a few years and nothing really bloomed. But the roses, oh my goodness, they are beautiful. Stunning. These are all David Austin roses. One of my favorites. Well, it is my favorite. Love a David Austin rose. Just look at it. Perfection. We have some other roses here, which aren't as eye pleasing as the others. So some of the this year dahlias, and then these are all the beds of the unicorns. Super rare. They're looking quite good. These are all the leaf cuttings. I showed you in the first video some of these, and they were way smaller than this. Now you can see how they're filling out. A bit yellow, but I think it's just maybe the weather doing that. Because I've put down nitrogen, so they definitely have enough nitrogen, unless they're lacking something else. But we'll see as they grow a bit bigger, because I've seen some of the other ones starting yellow and then they green up as they get bigger. So not worried. They're looking pretty well. Pretty big. These are the mother plants of the cuttings. Some really big. Hopefully we'll be getting some of these blooms pretty soon, but I want to show you this beautiful peony. Open it. Ooh. Pretty sure this is Sarah Bernhardt. Lovely peony. I have a couple. One's lining all the beds at the edge. Hopefully get a few more and I can do the whole entrance with them. More sweet pea. And then we've got our mother plants. And we've got some serious buds going on here. They're pretty big. I'll probably let them bloom and see what they look like, because I can't wait any longer. And I'm sure if you're growing dahlias, you're like me, just can't wait. So we're gonna go through the rows here. It's pretty cool. Nose running again. So we've got dahlias from Puttons. They're a bit slower than I thought they were gonna be. The weeds are definitely kicking in. We haven't weeded much in here. And then we have all the dahlias from tubers. There's 160 tubers put in here. And they're looking good. See some bug damage, but hopefully with the molasses spraying, that's gonna take care of the problem. Look at this jungle. This just looks like a weeded mess, but there's actually status all in here. And you can see status stems start to pop up. That's the second flush. I've pinched the first flush off because they're usually quite weak. And then we've got Canterbury bells all the way down on one side. In the middle, we have Ami, and then the other side is snapdragons. Quite a few of them ones have burnt leaves as well, and I don't think I put the urea on these, but I might have. Could be just the sun scorch, but I don't think so. We'll see, they'll recover. They're not dying, so they're looking actually pretty good. Look at these snaps. I'm pinching them as I go. Couple times, not couple times, once a week for a couple of weeks because I don't want them all bloom at the same time. So you can see some of the shorter ones in here. They have been pinched and they're bushing out nicely. It's quite lovely here. Nice and lush from all the rain. But look at this scabious. Sowed it last year from seed, and this is a perennial scabious, so blooms the second year. But look at the size of that bloom. It is just huge. Biggest scabious I've ever grown. Looks lovely. I'll show you the zinnia cuttings that we done together. They're actually rooting. So if you look back at the video where I took cuttings, this is 2 weeks later. You can see all the roots coming up, and they're pretty much ready to plant. But I'm going to leave them in these cell trays and plant them out whenever hopefully the stock is ready and comes out, so we'll have a good succession. Right, so let's continue on. These are 2 vegetable beds. We have carrots. They're looking pretty good. Should we pull one? Just for use. Yay! We have carrots. Well, they will be good in a couple of weeks' time. And then we've got lettuce, sugar snap peas, giant Mongolian sunflowers are huge. They're growing so quick. And then we've got courgettes, cucumbers, beans, beetroot, all sorts in here. It's just a mix mash. And here we have dill, parsley, French beans, beetroot. It's gonna be a good year for beetroot. Look at that. Looks unreal. Probably pull one of the beetroots for you too. Let's see. Oh, they're pretty small. You're not gonna see much of a beetroot on them. It's just mostly leaves now. And then we've got onions. Beautiful eucalyptus. It's really putting on a lot of growth now. That'll be ready in the autumn. But look at the sweet pea arch here. Some of the varieties I'm definitely saving seeds from, growing them next year. Look at them. Beautiful veining on these. Unreal. And the stems are really, oh my goodness, I've never seen sweet pea that size. Unbelievable. And we've got our strawberries in here. Let's see if we can find any strawberries. Yep, we've got strawberries. Nothing like a homegrown strawberry. Easiest thing to grow ever. That's my breakfast. Let's look at this rose. It's just shining in the sunlight. It's a David Austin as well. Can't tell you the varieties because I can't remember them. Had them for a few years now. No, we missed this bed. Sweet William. Hopefully the sun doesn't spoil the colour now. I'm getting some really good long stems on these. And it's quite nice colours too. They'll be picked as they start opening. So we get the maximum vase life. Hear the birds singing. But everything's looking pretty well. I think that's pretty much it included in this week's video. Oh, I just see something starting to open. Nigella. Self-seeded Nigella has been here for a couple of years, just keeps self-seeding in the stones. If you leave Nigella, you can see it's coming up in like flushes. Leave a couple plants in and you're gonna have self-seeded Nigella. Sometimes it doesn't grow as tall as the others, but it's worth a try. Free plants are always welcome, especially with the price of seeds. But I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much everything for this week. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching.